Okay, whenever you're ready, let's start laying down today. So find your way to your yoga mat. Let's start laying down, maybe in Shavasana with your arms and legs outstretched, lengthening in all directions. Maybe choosing to stand your feet up, bending your knees, and then letting your knees rest together at the center, constructive rest pose. If you're in your living room or somewhere else where maybe you have an ottoman or a couch or a chair, maybe you throw your legs up onto the seat of a chair or ottoman. Continuing to adjust until you feel just about as restful as you think you can feel. Taking a couple of clearing breaths, sighing breaths, however you'd like. Sometimes with a bit of noise. I don't know. For me, the noise goes a long way. It just feels like a really, just feels good to be kind of dramatic with it. And feeling the pressure between you, the mat, or the floor. Remembering and feeling now that you are fully supported here. You don't have to hold yourself up in any which way, just letting your muscles and tissues have a little break. Still ready, still standing at the ready, but just not engaged. Softening and relaxing for a couple moments of rest and centering. Start to expand your breath and expand your awareness of your breath. Letting your belly expand in all directions with your inhales and letting everything soften with each exhale. And if you'd like to set a dedication or intention for your practice today, feel free to bring something to mind right now. And then let's take 3 clearing breaths, but with the blowing variation. So we'll pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle or blowing something in the distance. That's how we'll do the exhale. So inhaling through your nose, blowing through pursed lips, like you're blowing a candle out. Try that again 2 more times. And then return to a steady, normal rhythm of breath as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, letting your head rock from side to side, maybe yawning. Let's head into a long body stretch, straightening arms and legs and reaching in opposite directions now. Let's circle out ankles and wrists a couple times, both directions, wiggling fingers and toes. And then bringing your arms down by your sides. Let's stand the feet up, bending your knees, removing any props from underneath you as you see fit. Pressing your hands, elbows, and shoulders down into the mat. With an inhale, let's start to lift the pelvis, reaching the hip points straight up. And then exhale as you lower back down. Pause at the bottom and notice how your back is. Do you feel like you could slip like your hand at the low back there? If so, tuck your tailbone under and kind of flatten out any of that extra space underneath your back. And we'll try again. So kind of holding this tuck, inhale, lifting high. And exhale, lowering down. We're going to try adding on something a little strange. So when you inhale and rise up, let's open the eyes. And then exhale, lower the hips, close the eyes. Keep going like this for a few more rounds, inhaling as you lift and open. And exhale as you close your eyes, lower your hips. Now you're welcome to add or subtract any of these different parts time you'd like. We'll add one more element in here with the inhale. Let's lift the hips, open the eyes, and start to reach your arms up and overhead. We'll do this a few times so you'll catch on as you go. And then exhale, closing your eyes, lowering your hips, lowering your hands back down by your sides. Got a lot of different elements going on here. Let's see if we can coordinate it all. Maybe one or two more times. And meeting up, down, pelvis resting comfortably back down on the ground. Let's pull the knees in toward your chest and take a little bit of rocking motion, circling motion of your knees, rolling out your back. Okay, let's come on up, either rocking and rolling a couple of times up and down the spine, or by turning onto either side and then finding your way on up. Right away, coming to hands and knees for cat and cow. Hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. With your inhale, cow pose, lowering your belly, lifting your gaze and your tailbone, pushing your hands down into the floor. And exhale, cat pose, rounding up through the spine, tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Add on any other organic movements along the way. And at some point coming to about neutral here, then we're going to take a little side bend. So thinking about bending over toward the right. So create more space between your left hip point and your left shoulder, decreasing the amount of space from the hip point to your right or your right hip point to your right shoulder. Hugging your right ear toward your right shoulder, and then switching sides. You can hold on either side or kind of go back and forth a couple of times. And then let's meet up in extended child's pose, bringing the knees out wide toward the edges of the mat, big toes touching behind you. Let's start to sink the seat toward the heels, but then with an inhale, come back up to tabletop. And then exhale, finding your way to child's pose, either sinking back in or taking a few more rocking motions to arrive Making sure there's plenty of space for diaphragmatic breath here. So making sure the knees are wide enough so your belly has all the space it needs in order to expand with your inhales. A little more side bending for us here. No need to rise up from your extended child's pose. Let's just kind of walk the fingers, walk the hands over toward the left side of the mat, and then sink back down, finding some opening, some length through the right side, the right armpit, the right shoulder. Breathing into the right side. Then whenever the timing is right for you, go ahead and switch, walking your hands over toward the right and lowering back down. And then walking your hands back to the center. We're going to slide forward, keeping your nose as close to the floor as you comfortably can, sliding forward onto your stomach. So forearms maybe staying down, nose staying down kind of close to the mat, and then eventually straightening your legs and coming to the belly. Let's stack the hands on top of each other and then rest your head on your hands, crocodile pose. Let your heels splay out to the sides here. And then a couple of diaphragmatic breaths. Breathing air and energy into the low back. Let's pull the hands down by our low rib cage, hugging the elbows in toward our sides. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. With your inhale, baby cobra, we're lifting the head and heart. And then exhale, lower down. We're going to keep the head down this time. With your inhale, see if you can lift your feet up off of the floor, even just an inch or two. And then exhale, lower the tops of your feet back to the ground. Let's switch back and forth a couple of times. Inhale, baby cobra, head and chest lifts. Exhale, lower. Head stays lowered. Inhale, feet lift, keeping your legs straight, feeling the back of your legs and glutes really working. And exhale, lower. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, feet lift. Exhale, lower. All right, let's put it together now. Inhale, baby cobra with the feet lifting. Hold here as long as you'd like. Maybe it's not too long. Maybe it's a couple more breaths. And then we'll meet up in extended child's pose once again, eventually pressing your way up and then back. Lengthening out that part of the low back we were strengthening. All right, let's start to find our way to our first downward facing dog, rising up, grabbing your blocks if you like to use them. Curling your toes under. Pick up your knees and reach your tailbone high. Find your breath here first and foremost. Maybe bending and straightening your knees or coming up to your tippy toes. Lifting and lowering the heels a couple times. Inhale, come forward to your high plank, shoulders over wrists. And exhale, downward dog. Start to bend your knees and look up toward the top of your mat, and then walk or step your way to the top. Ragdoll, forward fold. Upper body hanging loose here. Maybe swaying. Maybe just breathing. Loosening up your neck. You might nod your head yes, shake your head no. Slowly make your way up to stand, tucking your chin toward your chest and letting your head be last to rise. Take your time. And when you do eventually get to the top, let's find a little bit of intuitive movement, kind of like you're waking up from a big deep sleep. Just maybe a little shake of the shoulders or stretching the arms out wide. You can find a little bit of a shake or a bounce, maybe all of the above. I really like to lift and lower my heels and let my arms kind of swing. Just feels like I'm letting everything get back into the natural flow of things. Sometimes it feels goofy, but that just usually for me, that means I need to do more of it. Okay. Up at the top of our mats, take a look down at your toes. Pick up all your toes, give them a little wiggle, set them right back down. With an inhale, let's reach both hands high, looking up. Exhale, baby back bend, goalpost arms, squeeze the glutes, and think about lifting your heart center up more so than even back bending. With an inhale, rise back up, lift the hands high, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step just the right foot back and lower your right knee down to the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. Exhale, open arm twist toward the left. Stay twisted here. With your inhale, lift your arms back up and overhead. We're staying in the twist. Exhale, lower your arms, reaching them out wide. Let's try that one more time. It's quite challenging. Inhale, hands reaching high, staying in our twist. Exhale, arms reach wide. Go ahead and bring your hands back down to your blocks. Toe heel your left foot out wide. And let's get a little runner's lunge going in here. So letting your hips kind of sink forward and down, maybe back a little bit too, just kind of getting into it. That left foot on the outside of the left hand for now. You can kind of take some little circles or some kind of pulses. And then we'll curl the right toes under, pick up your right knee, step your left foot back to meet your right in a downward dog. Big breath in and out. Inhale, high plank, that's what it's called. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, high plank one last time. Exhale, lower your knees, child's pose. Now, if you have your blocks handy and you want to try a little bit of a heart opener, we can grab those blocks and bring them just in front of our shoulders, placing your elbows on the blocks and bringing your hands together. You could, kind of takes a little bit of adjusting as you go. You can start to sink your chest down and bring your hands to the back of your neck, like prayer hands with the thumbs touching the back of the neck, letting your chest kind of hang through and letting your elbows rest on the blocks. 2 more breaths. Straightening out your arms if they were bent. Find your way up to tabletop. With an exhale, downward dog. We'll have just one big breath in here. One big breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look up toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step just the right foot forward. All the toes are facing that top edge of your mat. With an inhale, sweep your arms high. Exhale, open arm twist toward the right. Holding your twist to the right, inhale, hands reach high. Exhale, open your arms back out. One more time, staying in your twist. Inhale, reach your hands high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to the top, unwind. And exhale, warrior 2. We're spinning to the other side now, bending into that right knee. Breathe. Oop, right heel down, spinning down to the back edge of your mat. With an inhale, reach both hands high, pivot on your right foot so all of your toes now face the long edge of your mat. We're going to put this all together in a second. Let's turn to the back of the mat, warrior 2 toward the back. So left heels or left toes facing the back side and arms widening in either direction, bending into that left knee. Let's try that again. This time we'll link it up one movement to one breath. Inhale, reach your hands high, pointing the toes to the long edge of the mat. Exhale, warrior 2 to the top of your mat. Right toes reach toward the top. Okay, let's try that one more time. Go at your own pace here. We're in warrior 2. Inhale, reaching high, pivoting on the right heel. Exhale, warrior 2 to the back edge of your mat. Inhale, up to center, long edge of the mat, and exhale, warrior 2 to the top. Bring your hands down to frame your right foot, step, or take a few steps to get your left foot up to the top. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, upward salute, joining your hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few breaths and a few moments to notice. And what we're noticing is just unique to you. Then we'll take a sighing breath in through the nose and sigh it out of the mouth. Inhale, hands reach high. Exhale, baby back bend, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step just the left foot back, lower your left knee to the mat. Inhale, reaching hands high. Exhale, open arm twist toward the right. Stay as much in your twist as you can. With your inhale, lifting the hands. Exhale, open them back up. One more time like that. Inhale to lift. And exhale, open back up. Inhale, unwind, come to the top. Exhale, lower your hands down to your blocks. Breathe like normal. Bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand, the outside of your right block, and then shift your hips forward and down, finding a nice runner's lunge. If this is too low, come on up nice and high to the top setting of your blocks, or even something a little bit higher. Everyone's hip anatomy is different, so some people can only safely, make it to about here, and that's just fine. So work with what you've got here. Maybe shifting around a little bit. You could kind of pull back to almost like a half splits. Back and forth a few times. And then we'll make our way to downward dog. So placing your blocks on the ground, curl your left toes under, pick up that left knee, and step your right foot back to your downward dog. One big breath in and out. Inhale, high plank, shifting forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees lower, child's pose. Keeping your hands up on your blocks if you want, or pulling them back in to support your elbows like we did before. Feels kind of nice though to just kind of grip onto your blocks and reach the tailbone back. If your forehead is touching something, maybe you kind of rock your forehead a little bit like you're massaging the forehead, or maybe kind of envisioning a third eye. Inhale, rise back up, tabletop. Curl your toes under and exhale, downward dog. One big breath in and out. Inhale, bend your knees a lot. Look up toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step just the left foot forward. Bend into that left knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open arm twist toward the left. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, twist. One more like that. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, open. Inhale, unwind, come back to center. Exhale, open up, warrior two to the other side. We'll do it just like we did on the other side, a little quicker this time. Inhale, straighten both legs, reach high, pivot on that left foot. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Inhale, lifting high. Exhale, warrior two to the front. One more time. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Inhale, high once more. Exhale, warrior two. Bring your hands down to frame that left foot. Pivot on your toes so you're facing that top edge of the mat. And then step forward. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway. Lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Upward salute. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Taking a few moments to check in. Take note. And a clearing breath when you're ready, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Blinking, your eyes open. Go ahead and start to lower your way down to the floor. We'll straighten the right leg out, bending your left knee. If your left foot touches your right thigh or somewhere, maybe that's where you choose to rest it today. Take a little twist to the left. So your left hand kind of swings back, right hand to your left knee, puffing up the chest and kind of pushing in that direction, and then twisting to the left side. Kind of pushing into your right heel as you twist. then coming back to center, slowly unwinding. We're gonna fold forward over that left knee. And you might do this with your breath by folding forward with your exhales, inhaling as you come back up, maybe a little ways, and then exhale to fold back in. You can make this even a little smaller where you inhale and almost like halfway lift, like you're kind of making a cow back. And then exhale, rounding to cat-like back. Choose to spend your time in this little stretch in your own way. Coming back up when you're ready. And then we'll switch sides. So left leg goes straight, bending the right knee, right hand sweeping back behind you, left hand to the right knee, puff the chest up and let that kind of be the twisting motion that starts you off. We're pressing down into that left heel as we twist over to the right. Feel your breath. Spend as much time in your twist as you'd like, and then start to unwind. Just enough to fold over your right knee. Hands on kind of either side of the right knee as you experiment with the folds. Maybe holding or maybe inhaling to rise, and then exhaling to fold a couple times. It's up to you. Two or so more breaths on this side. Come on back to the center. Let's straighten out both legs. Give them a little shake or a little tap. And then we'll lower on down. Bring your blocks with you about halfway up your mat and then lower down to your back. Pull in your knees in with you or when you arrive. And rolling out your back a little bit, maybe rocking and rolling a couple of times up and down the spine. Or just taking some free movement, circling your knees, massaging things out wherever you can create that nice pressure, massaging pressure. And then we'll make sure to give some love here to the upper body too. So bringing your feet down to the mat, maybe like a constructive rest, like leg position with your feet standing up near the edges and then your knees coming together. And go ahead and wrap your hands around, maybe grabbing for opposite elbows or opposite shoulders, kind of giving yourself a hug there, feeling your shoulder blades spread apart, and then rock a little bit side to side through your upper back, trying to target right between the shoulder blades. And you can kind of like start into a sit-up to try to get different angles. If that sounds good to you, just kind of like lifting your head up a little bit. Switch sides when you're ready by opening your arms out wide first. Maybe staying there for a second or two to counterbalance that closed arm position. And then when you're ready, grab opposite elbows again, this time with the other forearm on top. Grabbing for opposite elbows or opposite shoulders, and then finding that rocking motion. If you have any extra difficult knots in your back or any spots that you'd like to try targeting, if you have like a balled up sock or pair of socks, you can kind of put that between you and your mat sometime. And depending on the tenderness, sometimes you don't even have to move. You can just kind of lay and let that pressure soften up that knot. Let's go ahead and finish up there however you will, and then open your arms back out wide. If there are any last poses, movements, or stretches that you'd like here, go ahead and move through those now. Just a little bit of intuitive movement, or maybe letting your knees rock side to side, or heading into child's pose. It's up to you. For half of our remaining time, we'll have the opportunity to do restorative Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. And then the other half for Shavasana. If you so choose, you could spend your entire time doing either of those, just one of them if you prefer. So grabbing our blocks, let's toe heel the feet together and then bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees start to go out toward the edges of your mat, and then use your props, your blocks, or your pillows or your blankets to prop your knees up. Even if your knees or your hips are really open and you don't have to use a block, let's give the body that extra support just so you're really feeling safe from a deep internal level, that you're not going to accidentally go too far. So go ahead, make your way to your variation. Your hands could maybe rest on your low rib cage or your hip points or off to the sides. It can feel really nice sometimes to like bring your arms up like the shape of like a Y if you were doing the YMCA dance, or even interlacing your fingers, then resting your head in your hands so your elbows are kind of mirroring your knees. Settle in. And paying close attention now to the right eye. Your eyes can be open or closed. Bringing attention to your left eye. Both eyes together, either with your eyes open or closed, turning and looking just with the eyeballs to the left and then to the right, just back and forth a couple of times, eyes open or closed, just side to side, back and forth. And back to center. Rest your eyes. Paying attention now to the eyebrows. Are you able to move just the right eyebrow? How about the left? Can you move one or the other independently of the other? And rest your forehead. Bringing your awareness now to the top row of teeth, gliding your tongue over and around the top row of teeth, all the sides. And the bottom row of teeth, gliding your tongue around all sides of your bottom row of teeth. And then relaxing your mouth, softening the tongue, smoothing out all of your facial features. Becoming aware of your scalp, your ears, tracing the outline of your ears. Right earlobe, left earlobe, both ears together. center of the brain. Resting your awareness at the center of your brain, from side to side, front to back, right there in the center of your head. Becoming aware of your right shoulder and left shoulder, both shoulders together, left arm, right arm, right palm, left palm, all of the fingers on both hands, both arms, both shoulders, center of the chest, the sternum, all of the ribs on the right side of your chest, all of the ribs on the left side of your chest, spine, low back, and stomach, navel point, right hip, left hip, pelvis, right thigh, left thigh, right knee, left knee, right shin, right calf, left shin, left calf, both ankles, top of your right foot, top of your left foot, all of your toes, the point or points that your feet are touching each other. Bringing your awareness up to your knees. If it feels right to you, bring your hands to your knees and help your knees come back up and together at the center. You can either choose to find your way into Shavasana now, just letting your legs go straight, or taking any other variations that feel the most restful now. Try to make the least amount of fuss about it, just getting right back into our meditation. Noticing the pressure between your body and the floor. Which points, which parts touch the floor? Does it feel like equal pressure, side to side? How symmetrical or asymmetrical do you feel? If your energy or your being right now was a color or mix of colors, what comes to mind? What shapes? If there are any emotions that you can sense, can you also sense if they have a place in the body that they live? Does it feel like they live in your mind or they live in your heart, or is there another place that your emotion feels like it lives? Resting your awareness at heart center, breathing from this point. Expansive breath, expansive energy in all directions from heart center outward. You are welcome to continue your rest and just stay right here as long as you'd like. Eventually, when you are ready to move along, let's start gently wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe letting your head rock side to side, opening and closing your jaw, swallowing or yawning. Maybe heading into a long body stretch or any other detours along the way. And then eventually rolling into the fetal position on either side. Taking at least a full round of breath in the fetal position, honoring the transition here. And eventually pushing, using the help of your hands to push your way up to a comfortable seat, maybe keeping your eyes closed as you join hands in front of the heart. May all beings everywhere be happy and be free, and may our own thoughts, words, and actions somehow contribute to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Together, bringing thumbs up to third eye center. Let's seal our practice today with a little bow forward together now. Peace.